working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Alex Fisher. Bakersfield police have released information about threats made to a local junior high school. The school is Thompson Jr. High. BPD says last night officers got a call about threats posted on Instagram by a former student. The post also contained pictures of guns. The post was taken down and officers determined the picture was taken off the internet from a news article in Sacramento. BPD contacted the former student and officers say the threats do not appear to be credible, but officers are continuing their investigation. In national news, in the House of Representatives, the number of members supporting the impeachment inquiry into President Trump continues to grow as more details emerge about the whistleblower complaint against the president. Meanwhile, President Trump is said to be seething about the prospect of facing impeachment and is publicly lashing out. NBC's Chris Pallone has more from Washington.
And that's what we're hoping to do.
In her first live television interview since launching an impeachment inquiry on President Trump, Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the House panels investigating the president will ensure there's no retaliation against people who provide them information.
And I'm concerned about some of the president's comments about the whistleblower.
President Trump, speaking with diplomats and their families in New York Thursday, talked about White House officials mentioned in the whistleblower report and alluded to execution in this video obtained by Bloomberg News.
Who's the person that gave the whistleblower the information? Because that's close to a spy. You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart, right? With spies and treason, right? We used to handle it a little differently than we do now.
Republicans defending the president are using an admission in the whistleblower's complaint to attack its credibility.
It's clear to me that it's a narrative being created from secondhand sources. And what I want to know is who told the whistleblower about the phone call.
The complaint, made public Thursday, accuses the president of abusing his power by asking the leader of Ukraine to investigate Trump's political rival Joe Biden, and then trying to cover it up by locking down access to the call's details in a system reserved for the nation's most sensitive secrets.
I don't think it's part of the president's job to shake down leaders of other countries using taxpayer dollars to have them do something that is in his political benefit.
Democrats believe testimony from the director of national intelligence Thursday strengthened their case.
I think the whistleblower did the right thing.
On Twitter, the president insisted in all caps it was a perfect conversation with Ukraine president. As for the speed of the impeachment inquiry, Speaker Pelosi said that the House panels should move with purpose, expeditiously, but not hastily, though. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
California is giving cities and counties more power to speed up the building of supportive housing and shelters amid a homelessness crisis. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed 13 laws aimed at stemming the problem. His action comes as President Trump criticizes California's handling of the issue. He says California has failed to stop water pollution from sources like human waste left on sidewalks by the homeless in big cities. Newsom has accused the president of politicizing the issue and has called on the federal government to provide more aid to get people into housing. The governor says the bills he signed will, quote, give local governments even more tools to confront this crisis. And tomorrow, Bakersfield Mayor Karen Go and volunteers plan to clean up downtown. You're taking a look at a video of a previous downtown cleanup event. Volunteers will meet at 7 a.m. at the Fox Theater on 8th Street. They'll get their cleanup assignment, supplies and safety tips, and volunteers should wear a hat, shirt with sleeves, pants, closed-toe shoes, and gloves. And the good news about all of this is that the weather is going to be perfect to clean up downtown.
Yeah, especially in the morning hours, and we're going to continue to see a cool down. Taking you outside and downtown, out near the Fox and the Padre there, under clear skies, a little bit of a haze, and we're holding at 77 degrees, so not too bad under no winds. We saw a little breeze earlier this morning. We'll probably see a little breeze pick up throughout the afternoon, and you can see temperatures are going to be in the 80s by 4 o'clock, 85 degrees, slipping back into the 70s by 8 o'clock, and then lower 70s after midnight. As we take a look at the mountains, 68 degrees out of Tehachapi right now. Still a little breezy with that northwest wind at 17. Clear skies, and here's a look at the temperatures this afternoon. We'll be into the 70s and then slipping back into the 50s by midnight. The cool down continues into the weekend. I've got more details on that coming up in a few minutes.
Looking forward to that forecast. All right, thanks, Kev. Now to an update on the explosion in vaping-related illnesses. The CDC now reports 13 people have died and more than 800 others are being hospitalized due to vaping. That is up 52% from a week ago. The CDC says 46 states and the Virgin Islands are reporting illnesses. 2 people in Kern County are hospitalized with the mysterious illness, and 2 people in California have died. It's still not clear exactly what's causing people to get sick. Meantime, California continues its crusade against vaping. This week, the State Department of Health issued an advisory urging Californians to stop vaping no matter what. State Senator Jerry Hill says next legislative session, he plans to reintroduce a measure that would ban the sale of flavored tobacco. Hill says the proposal will include an urgency clause. That means as soon as the governor signs the bill, it would go into effect. Hill says if all goes smoothly, flavored tobacco sales could be banned as early as late January. The National Center for Statistics and Analysts reports California has the second highest number of alcohol-impaired driving fatalities nationwide, and Kern County ranks number 1 in the state.
We see more than 4,000 DUI arrests per year. That's about 12 per day. And those are just the ones that we're catching, right? At any given time, there's about 15 DUI drivers on our roadways.
Barrientos is a board member with MAD, that's Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The organization works to educate people about the dangers of drunk driving in an effort to put a stop to it. This weekend, you can join the effort by participating in its annual Walk Like Mad 5K. All proceeds go toward raising awareness about the problem of DUI and programs MAD offers. Walk Like Mad is happening tomorrow from 7:30 to 11 at the park at Riverwalk. Well, the weather is changing as we head into a new month, and health officials say it is time to protect yourself from the flu. How you can get a free flu shot this weekend, we'll explain, and we're going to take you outside. Here's another look at the Fox Theater and the Padre Hotel in downtown Bakersfield. Kevin's got a look at your forecast coming up after this. Welcome back. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but there's never a bad time to get screened. And Kern Public Health, Links for Life, and Kern Medical are teaming up to make sure women can do just that. The Women's Day event is happening this weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, women can get free mammograms, women's health screenings, and birth control. The event is happening from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. both days. Saturday, it'll be on the Bessie Owens parking lot on Potomac Avenue, and on Sunday, it's happening at North Meadows Park on McRae Street. You can call 321-3000 to schedule an appointment. Well, flu season is rapidly approaching, and there are indications it could be a severe one. Flu season begins Monday and generally peaks in February and then trails off in the spring. But already this year, a child in Northern California has died of the flu. Health officials are urging Americans to roll up their sleeves and get their annual flu shot.
Recommend that everyone 6 months of age and older get it, and now and to the end of October is the best time to get it.
Keep in mind it takes 2 weeks for the vaccine to be effective in adults, and some kids may need 2 doses. The CDC estimates last year there were between 37 and 42 million cases of the flu, which resulted in up to 61,000 deaths. Kaiser Permanente is working to keep people healthy this flu season. It's offering up to 300 free flu vaccines to community members. The Kaiser mobile health vehicle will be at the Kaiser Permanente Sports Village from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. tomorrow. Nurses will provide the flu shots. Soccer and football players can get first aid for minor injuries, and there will also be healthy snacks and water. Adventist Health also wants to make sure our community is healthy. The healthcare provider is holding a free drive-through flu shot clinic tomorrow. It's happening at Adventist Health at 29th Street and Chester Avenue. It starts at 7 a.m. and it'll run until doses are gone. The clinic is for adults only, so people 18 years and older. Well, science into concussions and brain injuries has made big advancements in recent years, and researchers have discovered that keeping the brain working while it's healing from a big blow can actually help it recover faster. And a Texas teen says she's proof that hard work can yield big results. Here's Bianco Castro.
15-year-old Jordan Hughes is no stranger to tough competition, which is why this second-degree black belt decided to join her school's wrestling team last year.
Your adrenaline's pumping, but you take that hit to the head or the hit to the shoulder, and it's like a wave of pain through your body, but you just kind of have to ignore it and keep going.
But those hits to the head resulted in 3 consecutive concussions. Her symptoms like headaches, dizziness, memory loss, and balance issues plagued her every day.
It was really difficult. From the lights to the noise to the work during school, it was just really, really hard, like everything overall. Even my home life, hanging out with friends was a challenge.
Years ago, doctors would have told her to take it easy and sleep it off. But experts say new research has shown staying active is key and that Jordan needed to retrain her brain.
We know, again, that the brain needs activity in order to heal, much like a muscle needs a graded activity in order to heal. So the idea is to take them through gradual changes each week in order to progress them at a pace that they can handle.
Physical therapist Kathleen Poland worked with Jordan every week for 6 months on exercises that targeted her symptoms, like these balance exercises.
The idea is to practice things that are difficult in order for the brain to make changes and adapt.
There, yep. And while Jordan worked hard in her sessions, she worked just as hard at school, even earning awards for making straight A's. It took 6 months, but today, there you go. Jordan is back to baseline.
Yeah, nice. Doing wrestling was an experience that I'll probably never forget now. Look at that.
That was Bianca Castro reporting. All right, let's take a look at your forecast because this is a forecast that I think everyone is going to really enjoy.
Yeah, it is the cool down. And we all love to hear a cool down, especially when it's been somewhat warm the last week or so. We still have clear skies out there. See no changes on that front. It's really the temperatures we're going to notice. Right now we're at 77 in Bakersfield, 78 in Delano, 79 out in Taft, and then upper 60s, 70s, some lower 80s out there for the mountains with Tehachapi at 68 to 81 for Lake Isabella. Overnight we were at 65, 4 degrees off the normal. Normal high today is 87. Will be slightly below that. I'm thinking 85 this afternoon. 104 the record set back in 2009. Beautiful conditions in 80 out in Arvin. And then for Golden Hills, clear skies and sunny in 70. Here's a look at the overall satellite and radar. Not much happening right now. We are watching the developing trough out of the north. That is going to help us, and it already is, because look at the daytime highs today. 77 in Sacramento, 87 in Fresno with 70 south. Vegas at 92, and Phoenix will actually be cooler than Vegas today with the mid to upper 80s. The beaches looking good. 70 degrees, a little bit of cloud cover here, a southwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And now let's talk about what is to come. So we've got this trough coming out of the Pacific Northwest. It's going to filter in some cooler air for us the next several days and into next week. It's also going to bring some moisture into parts of Montana. I want to show you this, a futurecast model. Some of these areas, as I put it into motion, see the blue. This is heavy snowfall, even into parts of Missoula, into Bozeman, into Salmon. So these areas, especially in the higher elevations, are going to pick up a lot of snow. Some areas possibly even 50 inches. So we're heading into fall, and we're going to see very winter-like conditions into parts of Montana before we get a little bit of a break as we head into next week. But these snowfall amounts are through Monday morning. Here's a look at our futurecast model. It shows that trough in place and how it kind of pushes off to the east here. We will see a little bit of warming as we head into about Thursday and Friday of next week, but no triple digits. The one thing we will see tonight are the winds. They're going to pick up in the Kern County mountains and desert. We'll also see a little bit of a breeze pick up in the valley, I think mainly on the west side and up to the north, but we may see some isolated gusts into the Bakersfield area as well. Air quality for you today, moderate with an AQI at 84. We'll call for 80s this afternoon, 85 in Bakersfield, Delano, McFarland, 84 in Taft. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 76 Frazier Park, 74 in Tehachapi, 80s for the Kern River Valley, 83 Lake Isabella, 84 in Kernville, and winds gusting to 40. For the desert, also going to be a little bit on the windy side throughout the afternoon and tonight, and a high of 92 in Ridgecrest. Your extended forecast tomorrow is 79, 72 on Sunday, lower 70s on Monday, and then a gradual warm-up, as I mentioned, by the mid part of next week. By Thursday, you're at 80. And then for the mountains, also cooler weather for the weekend, 50s by Sunday, still keeping that breeze around through about Wednesday right now. And then for the Kern River Valley, 80s today, 70s tomorrow, 60s back on the board as we round out the week.
That's just wonderful.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
perfect.
such a great forecast.
Yeah, great into the fair for sure.
No, for sure. All right, thanks, Kev. All right, well, still ahead, knowing who you'll sit by on a plane before you board. How one airline is giving you a heads up before you sit next to a baby.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back and checking stocks on this finally Friday. The Dow Jones right now is down 124 points. NASDAQ is down 128. S&P 500 down 28. Meantime, checking oil prices, West Texas Intermediate is at $55.96 a barrel, and Midway Sunset is at $59.66 a barrel. Flying with kids is tough. Tough on the kids, tough on their parents, and oftentimes it's tough on the people who just happen to be traveling on the same flight. Now one airline is working to make it easier to avoid sitting near kids altogether. People booking domestic flights on Japan Airlines will be able to see a special icon of a baby's face mapping out where people traveling with young children have booked seats. So far, it seems Japan Airlines is the only airline doing this, and there's no indication U.S. carriers will follow suit. Uber is upping its security. The rideshare company unveiled new safety features yesterday, and as Leanne Melendez found out, these new features touch on 3 key issues the company has faced: making sure riders can get help, making sure they're getting the right drivers, and making sure they're getting in the right car.
For years, Uber resisted making changes to its safety features. But after intense pressure from lawmakers and customers, the head of Uber's safety program rolled out the company's new safety toolkit. For one, you will now have the option of requesting a code to make sure you have the right driver.
If the PIN is the right PIN, then the rider on their phone will get a confirmation that you are in the right car, and now it is okay for you to get in the car.
The driver has to punch in that code, otherwise he can't continue with the ride. I explained how the new safety feature works to Juanita Wortham, a regular rideshare user.
So many Lyfts, there's so many Ubers out there, and you really don't know if you're hopping in the right car because everyone is requesting at the same time. So you don't know if you're safely getting into the right car.
Riders or drivers can now text 911 discreetly if in trouble.
All you have to do is to hit the send button, and all the important information from your trip, such as your current location, the driver information, the vehicle information, is automatically texted to the 911 center.
There will also be a facial recognition feature to make sure the driver with the account is the same person behind the wheel.
This is perhaps my favorite feature. The app alerts me when I am close to being dropped off next to a bicycle lane.
Bicyclists have been injured when the passenger was not paying attention while opening the door. Veronica Sowers recently moved here from Chicago and agrees Uber needed to enhance its safety measures.
I think especially in a big city like this, I think something like that would help. Yeah, it would just help me feel more comfortable.
A plane is diverted after a passenger becomes irate what he said he wanted to do that made the pilot make an emergency landing. Welcome back. Beef about the bathroom. A man on a flight from New York to L.A. yesterday was mad he couldn't use the first-class bathroom, and his rant was all caught on camera. Crystal Cruz talked to passengers who say at one point the guy started threatening people, forcing the pilot to make an emergency landing.
You wrong. By making 7 people wait here to use the bathroom while the whole bathroom up there is empty is wrong. I don't care how much money you got. It ain't about money. We trying to use the bathroom. So they'd rather let the bathroom be empty up there and let 8 people wait in line to use the bathroom while 2 bathrooms are empty in the front. And he gonna come to me telling me he gonna call the police? Call the police. Call them. Call them. Call them. Call them. I'm not gonna stop complaining while I'm waiting in line, especially when there's 2 empty bathrooms in the front. I'm not going to stop complaining.
A passenger on a flight from New York to LAX, decked out in jet gear, is caught on video in the aisle of an Alaska Airlines plane complaining about waiting to use the bathroom when the loos in the first class are open.
I paid my money. I ain't here for free. I ain't on this flight for free. I paid the same money everybody else got. But you gonna tell me I gotta wait?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
I gotta wait 6
I understand there's a gentleman in the aisle making kind of a fuss.
Bathroom is the bathroom.
Return to your
Using
seat.
the bathroom is the bathroom.
Or calm down.
That's the bottom line.
Following my crew members' directions is a federal requirement. And it is a federal law violation.
Alaska Airlines says the man did not try to get into the cockpit, but did make a verbal threat to harm the plane. That's when the pilot decided to make an emergency landing in Kansas City and radioed to the tower. And when it touched down, you can see police officers escort the passenger off the plane. After the delay, the flight eventually took off and touched down at LAX more than 4 hours late.
He said he was going to kill the pilot, he was going to beat people up, and then he started talking about this racial stuff, which was nothing about being racial. I don't know if he was on something or what, but he just went from like night and day.
I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to smack you. It was horrible.
Just wanted to use the first class bathroom like everybody else was doing. Then they pulled the curtain, and he thought it was racially motivated. Total waste of time.
I heard someone had to be taken off in an ambulance.
Yes, this lady, she was throwing up. After it was like over when we landed in Kansas, then she just started throwing up, and that's absolutely horrible.
All right, well, still to come, we'll introduce you to our pet of the week. That's coming up after the break. All right, welcome back. Finally here at noon, Chuck Nordstrom is in with our pet of the week from the SPCA. Good afternoon, Chuck.
Glad to be here.
Who'd you bring in today?
Well, today I got Noodle. Noodle the poodle.
Noodle the poodle.
He's about 2 years old, a little poodle mix. When he came in, he was just a hot mess with his hair and foxtails and everything else in there. He had to be shaved down. They were able to save some on his face there. So now it's time for it to grow back in. He was malnourished. He needs just a good, loving home. He loves to sit on your lap.
He's been very calm.
Oh, he is.
He has been a very calm dog.
Extremely calm. He's going to be just kind of a lap setter, an indoor dog, full grown, not going to get any bigger than this.
And hey, he's got a fresh haircut and bath and everything, so he's ready.
Yep, he's ready to go. And so if you want to come in, take a look, take him out in the yard and play with him a little bit and see if you think it's a good match.
Yeah, of course. So Noodle will be up for adoption starting tomorrow?
Today.
Oh, today. All right. So if you would like to adopt Noodle or one of his friends, call the SPCA or visit them. You can call them at 323-8353. And as you know, there are plenty of cats and dogs that are available for adoption at the SPCA. So, all right, thanks, Chuck, for bringing them in.
Thank you.
It. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us for 17 News at noon. We'll see you back here for tonight at 5. Have a great weekend, everyone.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.